Hello folks, my name's Mark. Welcome to my channel, and today we're looking at this new power station I got. It's a Bluetti AC200MAX. Today is, I don't know, it's almost the middle of April 2024. And I just picked this thing up off of Amazon. It was on sale for basically $11.99, $1,199. After tax, it was $1,285, which is a lot of money for me. And so this video is not a review. It's an unboxing and a story. Right, so you've kind of seen the unboxing, but we'll take a look at everything. It's a micro review. So it comes with some stuff here. We've got a power brick with a barrel connector on the end there, and a power cord to plug in the power brick. It comes with this cigarette adapter to, I don't know if this is a XT60 or an XT90. I'm not very familiar with these connectors at all. I've never owned anything with XT connectors, but it's one of the two, either a 60 amp or a 90 amp connector. So this would be for connecting it to your car as you drive along, and then the XT connector goes to this XT connector, and then this is your input. It's an aviation style connector, and it goes into there. So you'd have 12 volt charging from your car. This is a MC4 solar connector with some kind of skinny wires to the XT connector. And you would probably connect that also to this one to charge it. And now it seems like this wall, adapter, wall plug, charging brick, it seems like it goes into this one. 8mm plug, I assume. Says adapter on there. 2 expansion ports for expander batteries. I don't really plan on using those. I don't plan on buying expansion batteries for this. I don't know how this works. I mean, I kind of have a feeling of how it works, but I've never used it before. The only Bluetti, the only power station I have ever used before is this one, my old AC50S. It's a great little unit, and probably the reason why I'm buying Bluetti today, or yesterday, or a week ago when I ordered this thing. All right, so I don't know everything about it. Like I said, this is not an in-depth review. I am not Hobotech. I am not Jasonoid. I am not Will Prowse, right? But it's got a cigarette lighter adapter, 10 amp. This is an aviation connector for 30 amp, 12 volts DC. It's got a couple of 5521 barrel plugs, 10 amp. And I have never used the 5521 plugs on my other Bluetti, but I plan on using them on this, and maybe I'll continue to use them more. It has a single USB-C 100 watt, 18 watt USB-A, and a 5 volt, 3 amp, I guess 15 watt USB type A. Has 4 20 amp outlets, 120 volts alternating current, and it has a 30 amp outlet, RV plug style. Now that only has again, 20 amps that is available there, but it's a beefier connector. If you have an RV, you probably like this connector. I don't know that I'm going to use it that much. It also comes with some paperwork. I'll be looking at that. It's got some with a wireless charging outputs on the top. And now I've never been a big fan of wireless charging. I don't really use it too much. I'm filming on my iPhone right now, and my iPhone has an OtterBox Defender rubber case on there, and I haven't really found any of these wireless chargers. Not that I've tried a lot, but I found that they just don't work with the thick Defender case. And so I don't worry about that. I just plug it in with the wire. But that's just me. All right, so the story. Well, so this is Camp Lapidary, and the premise from day one of Camp Lapidary is to take lapidary materials or lapidary tools out into the wild where you would rock hound, where you find the rough. Find the rough, cut the rough, maybe even polish something up, a cabochon, a pocket stone or something. Do that in the wild, right? And so that's the entire premise of Camp Lapidary is to go camping and to do lapidary in the wilds, the deserts of the American West, I guess. And from the very first day that I had that idea, I realized, okay, so you're going to need electricity. You can't, run power tools off a tree or any rocks out there. So the first thing I bought was a generator, a gas generator. I mean, literally the very first thing that I bought for Camp Lapidary was a gas generator. This gas generator. It's a Westinghouse 3500 running watts, 4200 peak watts, pure sine wave inverter generator. And it's a nice little generator, and I've used it a few times. I've drug it around for thousands of miles. And haven't really, I haven't used it that much because I don't like it. Like the very first time I took it somewhere and I stuck it on the ground and fired it up and was using it, cutting rocks, powering up the cab machine, powering up the tile saw, and it's over there. I just didn't like it. I don't go around other people really, so I wasn't bothering anybody else, just myself. I was bothering myself. And so pretty quickly I realized that a gas generator, while a useful thing, wasn't necessarily what I was looking for. Hi, Butch. You can come in. Now, I bought this Bluetti AC50S, I don't know, 4 years ago. I'd have to check back to see when I unboxed it. It was pretty early in Camp Lapidary's career. And so, I love using this thing. I love connecting solar panels to it and just soaking up the sun and collecting electricity. And this little machine has enabled Camp Lapidary to exist. I mean, I have so many things that are electrically powered that are necessary to producing this channel, creating and producing this channel. I mean, yeah, you could do it all at home, but I want to do it out in the wild, right? I want to be off grid. I want to be out in the desert and doing the same things that I do at home, and I want to do them in front of you. And in order to do that, I need electricity. And so I bought this thing, and it's just been wonderful. It's been great. I use all of the outlets, all these USB outlets here. I occasionally use the AC outlets. It only has 300 watts. right? And I use the 12 volt to power up my Max fan. And like I said, I haven't used these yet, but I plan on buying some connectors and using them shortly. In order to use this AC200MAX, I'm gonna buy some connectors. I have to buy another one of these aviation type cables, and because this 30 amp output, this DC 30 amp output is going to power up this trailer, at least all the DC, and I'll be using the AC quite a bit too. Now this AC200MAX has 4 times the capacity of my smaller unit over there. It has 2048 watt hours of battery inside there, potential watt hours that you can store electricity, versus 500 watt hours for that smaller unit. And the battery chemistry is different as well. This is an old school unit before they were really making these commercial grade units, or retail grade, residential grade. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but consumer grade perhaps. When they made this one, they weren't really using the lithium iron phosphate. So these are just lithium iron batteries with a capacity or a lifespan of, I don't know, I've heard 750, I've heard 1,000 cycles. I don't know. I've probably only put, I know I've put less than 100 cycles on this machine in the years that I've owned it. But I've kind of babied it. I've kind of not used it every single day, right? I just kind of conserve the cycles on it. On this one, it is lithium iron phosphate, which has a ton more potential cycles for the battery cells. These ones are known to go 3,000, 3,500 cycles or more. And at that point, they're not done. They're just like knocked down to 80% of their usable original capacity, right? Same with that one. After a 750 to 1,000 cycles, it's now has approximately 80% of its original capacity. So this one having much more available cycles in its life presents the opportunity to use it on a daily basis. Now, if you count out the days in a year and multiply that or divide it into 3,500, it comes out to nearly 10 years. So you could cycle this from 0 to 100 every single day, charge it up, discharge it every single day, and in 10 years you'll be at 80% of its original capacity, if the electronics last that long, right? So if you take care of things, they do last, but electronics are notorious for sometimes not lasting all that long. So anyway, the battery chemistry is not the limiting factor here. So I'm going to use it, right? It's an entire different paradigm, a different way of thinking that, you're going to use it. Charge it up, use it. Charge it up, use it, right? Like, there's no sense in conserving it. Let's turn this thing on. I assume, at least if I remember correctly, you just press and hold. So this has more capacity for electricity, 4 times what my other one was. Knows the date and the time. That's interesting. It has a 2,200 watt maximum inverter. So this will power every single one of my power tools that I have. Let's see. This has a touch screen, which is kind of old-fashioned now. The new ones don't have a touch screen. Let's see. I don't know how to do anything here. DC on. Not too hard to figure it out. All right. So it's a bigger unit. It's basically the same but different in different ways as my other Bluetti unit. So this is a story. It's an unboxing and a story. And part of the story would be like, Mark, I'm just pretending someone's asking me this question. Mark, I understand. I've been watching these power stations for a long time now. Why would you be buying an AC200MAX in 2024? This unit has been out for at least 2 years, maybe even 3 years. Well, I'm glad you asked, and I'll be happy to tell you why I bought this particular model and not some of the newer available models. They've come out with several models that are comparable to this one in the last couple years. Now, the most notable comparison would be the AC200L, right? It's basically the same unit as this, but upgraded. It's newer. The AC200L has a brighter screen, which is not a touch screen. It has buttons down here for controlling the various things that you need to control. So it has manual controls versus a touch screen. I have seen people say that the touch screen can be a weak link on this particular model. I hope that I don't have any problems with it. I'm generally pretty good with my stuff. I don't abuse it, but you know, I understand, and that's part of the reason. Like, why would you buy this model, Mark? This is an older model. They have better models. Well, so the screen may be a drawback. The AC200L has a 2400 watt inverter, so you know the inverter is capable of outputting more electricity than this one. But 2200 watts is enough for me. I don't necessarily need 2400 watts. The most demanding thing that I plug in is the tile saw or the grinder, the Cab King machine, and they each pull a solid 20 amps that I've measured from household mains, which is easily, 2000 watts, 2200 watts. Now this has a surge of, I don't know, 4800 or something. It should be fine. And if it's not fine, I'll have to return it because it'll be unacceptable for my uses. We'll be testing that eventually, probably not in this video. All right, the AC200L. It's a newer model. It's quieter. The AC200L is quieter. It's measurably quieter. There's internal fans inside this machine, and the ones in the AC200MAX are known to be quite noisy. Maybe even twice as noisy as the AC200L. So the AC200L has quieter fans. And the AC200L is, I think, will accept more solar electricity. Now, the maximum wattage that you can put in this machine from solar is 900 watts, and I believe the AC200L to be 1200 watts. Now, I don't have a large solar array. I have a couple, currently I have a couple of 100 watt solar panels, and that's been fine for my AC50S. So this machine will run off the 100 watt panels. I can put them in series, I can put them in parallel, and have 200 watts, and it'll work just fine with this machine. But the AC200L does accept more solar. Now, why I don't worry about that is I don't have a large array, and I intend to use this machine inside of my cargo trailer, and the most that I figure that I'm going to be able to get on this cargo trailer is maybe 800 watts, right? Two approximate 400 watt panels will take up much of my roof. This is a 6-foot by 10-foot trailer, so, and the max fan takes up quite a bit of space, so all the usable space has to occur, this side of the max fan. So I have limited space for solar, and I don't plan on toting around numerous flexible panels. I don't plan on buying any flexible panels. I plan on mounting 2 large panels onto the roof of this cargo trailer, and maybe eventually I'll mount a big one on the roof of my 4-foot by 6-foot cargo trailer. Currently, one of the 100-watt panels is mounted there, and one of them I just carry around with me, when I go out. All right, so back to why would I buy this versus the AC200L? The AC200L probably has more expansion abilities. It has it probably has more things that it can connect to, and probably bigger. I honestly don't know, because I don't care about expansion batteries. I don't plan on buying any expansion batteries. I just wanted a nice large solar generator, a source of electricity, like my gas generator. I never planned on buying expansions for a gas generator. I just want this unit to be a standalone, strong unit, right? And so the limited solar inputs and the extra inverter output don't really mean a lot to me, and the expansion batteries don't really mean a lot to me. What matters to me kind of is the outputs. And the outputs on the AC200L are very similar to these outputs. I think this part is identical. Over here it has, I think the AC200L has 2 USB-Cs versus the 1. I don't think it has any of these DC 5521s. And then the real major issue of why I didn't buy the AC200L is this little guy right here. This is the 12 volt 30 amp output, and on the AC200L you'll notice that this one has two plugs, 2 pins in there. The AC200L has 3 pins, and it's controlled by microprocessors or whatever, I don't know. And the AC200L has been out for approximately 4 or 5 months. Now, mind you, this is April of 2024 when I'm making this video. And 5 months after its launch, there's nothing that will connect to the AC200L 30 amp. Or actually, on the L, it's a 48 volt, 8 amps, right? It's just different, but it's the same. But there's nothing that you can plug into this as of today, right? Supposedly, they're going to come out with this D40 thing and add on something that's going to be expensive, that's meant for really hardcore RVs type stuff. If you want to integrate this unit with an RV, you want the AC200L, and you're going to probably want the D40. I don't want any of that. Right? I don't want to integrate it. I mean, I want to build a DC system with this, and I really wanted this DC output, but I didn't want to deal with buying a multiple $100 D40. I'm just making that up. I don't know how much it's going to cost, but it doesn't sound like it's going to be, $50 or $100. It's probably going to be $350 or something. Who knows? So I'm not interested in expansion batteries. I'm not interested in the D40. I'm not really interested in supreme integration into RV lifestyle. I just want a nice standalone, strong generator. And this is it. This is the package. It's an older package, but in my mind, it's the strongest Bluetti for what I want to do. They make bigger units, the AC300, the AC500. I don't know. I don't pay too much attention to those. I've had my eye on this one for quite a few years. Oh, here's another thing. The AC200L doesn't come with a external brick. It's on the inside. Now, virtually everybody that I have watched their videos have said that that's a positive. Like, okay, so you don't have to carry this thing around. Well, I never carry a power brick around with me when I go out. I mean, this stays at home. When I go out, you know, so this has a power brick. I've never taken it anywhere with me. I leave it at home. I charge this with solar, right? If I need to charge this at home, I can plug in the power brick. And yes, it's loud, right? That's another complaint that is so common that I see is the power brick is loud. It's got a fan in it. Yes, they're loud, but it works. And, you know, when I charge this at home, if I don't charge it off solar, I charge it with the power brick, and it's a slow charge, but I don't care. I'm not in a hurry, right? Like, so on these ones, the new ones, they charge faster. Well, I'm not in a hurry, right? I'm virtually never in a hurry. Like, if I charge it today, that's fine. If I charge it tomorrow, that's fine. You know, it's not, I just don't see it being an issue. So this is loud and it's slow. So what, right? Does it work? I hope so. Now, I've seen some people say they've gone through a couple of these power bricks like they go bad. Now, I don't know. I mean, maybe. I hope I don't have that issue. But anyway, it should be for me, it's going to be a rare occurrence when I charge it up with the power brick. I bought this machine to charge it with solar, and you know, I'm home all day, every day. I can charge it, I can bring it out here, I can plug it into the solar, charge it all day, and even with the minimal solar I have now, if it takes 5 days to charge it, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm going to get more solar panels, and then it'll charge faster. I want to be able to charge this thing before noon. That's what I want to do. 800 watts on the roof, right? Charge it up before noon. Use it in the afternoon, cutting cabs, running machines, whatever, just camping and living, and then still have enough juice to last through the night, right? And then charge it up the next day. That's the plan, and to charge it with solar. The new ones have Wi-Fi. This one doesn't, as far as I understand, it only has Bluetooth, right? So I can use my phone to get an app and get inside the programming and change things with an app. Now, I'll probably use the app occasionally, but I am not an app person. You know, the new ones have this Wi-Fi, and so in order to use it, the Wi-Fi leaves your phone, goes through Bluetti's system online, and then to the machine. And all the communication takes place through Bluetti's server or something like that. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but if you have Bluetooth, it's the phone and the unit, right? That's all I need. I have no desire to turn this thing on or off from the other side of the world or even from the other room. I just want a nice power station right here. I'm going to take the buttons and I'm going to touch the buttons and use the buttons. I probably will never use the app unless it's to change some setting inside there that I can't do with the on-screen controls. So I honestly, I don't see the lack of Wi-Fi being an issue. So this thing was $1,200. The AC200L is basically $1,400 these days. The price of these Bluetti power stations, they yo-yo up and down. I mean, they originally came out at $2,000 plus, and then they were, you know, $1,800 and $1,600. Like I said, I paid $1,200 for this one. The newer one's like $14,000. Though on the Bluetti Facebook page, they've been knocking out some specials to people who are on that page You can get an AC200L for $999, right? Now, if it wasn't for that little guy right there, I would have an AC200L. The brighter screen, the manual physical buttons, those are things that I really like. The AC200L doesn't have these. I don't like those. I wish they weren't there. So the AC200L would have been perfect if it wasn't for this little guy right there. If you know, if they had just put the 12 volt 30 amp outlet on there, I would have bought it in a heartbeat. $200 extra, I don't care. That's not the point. Now they have another machine that just came out. I think it's called the AC240, and it's like waterproof. Like, you can hose it down. You can leave it outside in the rain. It just seems like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Why would you want to leave your power station out in the rain? Why would you take a hose to your power station? I will never do these things. Waterproof, I guess, might be pretty cool if you're on a boat, right? Like, it's dust proof and waterproof. Now, like a little bit of dust resistance, I kind of like that idea, right? Like, I'm out in the desert, dusty thing. I try to keep things clean, right? But things get dusty. Now, I've never had an issue with dust in this. I mean, it gets dusty. I wipe it down. You can see there's dust up in those outlets and stuff. I've never had an issue with it. I suppose I could blow it out with some air, try to get some of that dust out of there. So the AC240, it's like brand new. It has, I believe, the same 2400 watt inverter as the AC200L, which is nice. I don't remember, I can't remember if it has these or not. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it does. I can't remember. The AC240, it has a lot of the same things as this unit. I don't remember particularly all the ones. Maybe it doesn't have this. Maybe it's got 2 of those. Maybe it's only got 2 of these. You know, it does have this same 12 volt 30 amp outlet. So they brought that back for the 240 AC240. Now, so why didn't I buy the AC240? Well, it's bigger. This is like 62 pounds, which is, you know, it's substantial. It's not going to blow away. But the 240 is 72 pounds. So it's an extra 10 pounds. And it's a little bit taller, it seems like. I don't know. I think it's quieter than this one. But I can tell you the main reason why I didn't even consider the AC240. Basically, I looked at it for 5 minutes and then said, nope, that one's not for me. Okay, why? Well, the AC240 only has basically 1,500 watt hours of electrical capacity on the inside. This is basically 2,000. So it's missing 25% of its capacity. It's bigger, it's heavier, but it has less capacity. And the solar input range in voltage is greatly reduced from what this one is. This one's basically 10 volts to 145 volts, right? Which is a huge range. That was really been Bluetti's strength, in my opinion. You know, like, you can take almost any solar panel, hook it up, and it'll work, right? So having that large range of solar input of voltages is a huge thing. Like, you can just grab up some panels and do it. The input voltage on the AC200L, I think the max is like 60 volts. I forget what the bottom is. Maybe it's 12, maybe it's 20, I don't know. But it has a much reduced voltage input range. So you combine that, like, if the panels that I have planned to put on top of the roof of this 6x10 cargo trailer, they wouldn't work with the 240. I'd have to get smaller, more numerous panels and do them parallel or something. I don't even know. You know, I plan on getting 370 watts or the biggest I can fit up there, and then just running them in series, and that'll be, I don't know, 85 volts or something, and this machine will take 85 volts. Just plug it in, right? So the AC240 is a no-go. It has a reduced capacity, right? Now, like I said, I have no interest in expansion batteries. The AC240, probably like the AC200L, has more variety in the expansion battery department. But if you're not interested in expansion batteries, what does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. So the 240's out. It's reduced capacity, reduced solar input, and I don't really need, I just don't feel like I need that water and dust resistance, which kind of is its main feature. Well, I have talked a whole lot. I'm really excited to own this thing. I've been saving up for a long time and wanting this for a long time. I keep saying things like it's been in my Amazon wish list for a long time. This is one of those things that's been on my Amazon wish list for a very long time. And I'm eager to try it out. I'm eager to take it on a trip. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start prepping to go on a little rock hounding trip down to Nephi, Utah. We're going to bring this solar generator and some solar panels and this 6x10 cargo trailer. And we're going to go rock hounding and camping. We'll take the little dog, Gypsy, and have a good time. That's the plan. And we'll bring some kind of a lapidary tool to, try out in the wilds. So that's it, guys. Thank you. I appreciate watching. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Maybe I'll make the video and there'll be something else to say. But if there isn't, hey, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.